Questions, questions, questions. How about this question? Built my RSST last night, and I believe that right there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reps. Can you even see that? 5 reps of twisted 28 and 24, one strand to each. Twist it up. Okay? Now, it's 5 reps. Almost 3 mil. I'd say 2.5 because, you gotta do it on here and whatever. Okay? Now, well, that's messed up. This shoots my whole video all out of whack now. So, yesterday, this was measuring at 0.35 every time I put it on. Put it on like 3 times. I'm like, man, it does not seem right. Gonna blow my question right up. And now it's saying 0.51. So I guess the question doesn't even need to be asked. Just maybe my ohm meter was feeling tired yesterday. However, we'll go about it this route. Now, my ohm meter yesterday said 0.35. And then I stick this on, which has the same wire as this. Dual coil. And 6 wraps on each side. Not 5 wraps. At 3 millimeter. And yesterday this was reading 0.35 too. Well, we'll just chalk it up to the old ohm meter going mad. But yeah, 0.28 both times. That's messed up, man. Maybe it's the weather. It's like 1 below today. Last time I looked, it hadn't gone up any. Whatever. I guess we're not asking the questions, so I just have a vape. See, that's not bad, right? It's not bad. 0.28 now instead of 0.35. Yeah. Whatever. It is what it is. What if I put it on there and then turn it on? Maybe that's the whole issue. I don't know. I'll just drop things. Put it on there. We'll turn it on. No, it says 0.28. Thank you, ohm meter. Now, this bad boy, I shouldn't be able to put it all the way down. There we go. The old RSST. Has a slightly stiffer draw, Doesn't have those big CLT airflow holes. Probably one of the nicest builds I've ever put in this thing. I just twisted up some wire for the CLT. I wanted to see how that was. 28 and 24. Just twisted in the drill till it was all nice and uniform. No kinks in it or nothing. Cut off a couple pieces. Made some coils in that. Had a big old strand left. Said, let's make a coil right there. In fact, here it is. You're not going to focus. Because my head's in there. No, you're not going to focus anyhow. But it is a nice. Do we do the hand trick? Does the hand trick work? Probably not. Focus is on my hand. But it's a nice twisted mess. Twisted messes. Anyhow. There's probably enough here for another coil. We just hang on to that in case we want to rebuild the RSST. I did get something the other day. Got a pair of these. And upside right. There we go. Some E-Fests. IMRs. Okay. They are the nipple top instead of my normal flat top batteries. So they do make my Switch and my Nemesis pull out. Came nicely packaged though. Batteries were wrapped, cellophane, whatever, that plastic wrap. And button top V2 2500 mAh, according to them. Who knows? Yeah, very nice. I did notice I had my CLT wrapped up at 0.16, which if anybody has a clone of a Nemesis, you know that's a ow, 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 but I'm still gonna vape it. Ow. Because it likes to short through your hand at anything below 0.2 usually. And I say that because I have two Nemesises now, and they both were doing the same thing. However, if I stick these in there, and I got these when I still had a 0.16 build in, didn't happen. Now, that's kind of strange. But then I would put my Sonys back in when I would drain one of these out, which actually took about 40 minutes longer to drain one of these Purple E-Fests than it did my Sonys. I don't have a Sony sitting up there. I have a Sony in here. The other one's on the charger. Sony BTC4. Right? Yeah, BTC4. Now, I've had these. You can look back whenever the video was. 9 months, whatever it was. But you stick one of these in, and they don't have quite the wiggle room that the BTC4s do. I don't know if that's the wrap on them is a little bit thicker or what, but they don't have hardly any wiggle room. And I have to unscrew my switch because of the nipple top. You can barely see it right there. You can see it. Fresh batteries, though, do make a difference. Am I a fan of pairing batteries for the life of the batteries? No. But, yeah, I guess rotate your batteries out every 6 months or so, just like everybody says. I'm not saying that if you have batteries that are 6 months old, you should toss them out, though. They still work. They just don't have the longevity. That ain't a word. They don't last as long. Like I said, I'm getting on a 0.16 build, which anybody that ever builds that low knows it runs through the batteries. I was getting about 40 minutes more on the Purple E-Fest than I was my old 9-month-old Sony batteries, all three. So, yeah. Rotate your batteries out. Still not a fan of matching them. If you put them in the, whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. What else you got? I got some stuff coming. I do have some stuff coming. I went to rebuild Mr. Fogger V4 the other day, and my center screw, the post hole itself, stripped out. It wasn't even snug yet. It just all of a sudden went bloop. I was just barely crimping the wire to hold the wire in place while I got the other coil all situated and whatnot. And yeah, it just bloop, came popping right back up. Didn't even have it tight. So I did find a guy on eBay that sells them, and he'll sell them on single, or you can buy 3, or you can buy 5. I opted for 3 of them for the heck of it. Why not? 3 of them, $10 shipped. $10, 3 center posts. Now, if the negative ever strips out, you're pretty much screwed right there, because you can't take that off as far as I know. Isn't that pressed in? I think it's pressed in. Maybe it's a post that's screwed in, but I think it's pressed in. I've never seen anybody take one apart. Highly enjoying the CLT. The old RSST, debating. I would really like to be able to take this around with me. However, it is an upright device only because I have nothing in there to plug off the hole for filling it. There's nothing in there. Yeah, and I saw on one of the sites, I don't remember which one, you can buy those, but it seems kind of expensive for rubber plugs. I think you get like a 5 or 10 pack, and it's a few bucks, but still, it's only a rubber plug. So, just let it be an upright device, sit over here on the shelf when I'm not using it. I've noticed in Todd's videos, when he's vaping on a Jenny, I realize I coiled this different than Todd does, but his really goes. This just, I don't know. Highly enjoying it this way though. Genesis style atomizers are finicky little bitches, and if you don't torch everything correctly and pulse your coil after it's all built on there to make sure it works itself so it's all working correctly, it's going to taste like crap. Yeah, it takes a while. I know one build I put in here took me 20 minutes to get it to pulse correctly and get it all fiddled out correctly. And I wasn't down with that. That's why I didn't bother rebuilding it. But after I had that twisted wire left over, I said, hey, let's try it. So we cut up a new piece of mesh, pulled the old stuff out. Yeah, the old stuff still worked. Who cares? You know, oh, what the hell? Let's try something new. That's what it's about when you have rebuildables, is let's try something, see what we like, see what we don't like, and then try to remember what we liked and what we didn't like, and go from there. Not a fan of tipping my tank, but this doesn't wick totally correctly. So every once in a while, I do have to do this number and make sure it's fully saturated. But No Shave November is over with, so we clean that up a little bit. You might as well do the top forward at the bottom, you know. Just like you go clean your car, what's the point of just washing the top and you got all the junk on the bottom, right? Does vape remarkably well here. Don't know what my VG PG mix is in there. It's a lot of that with some of this, and I don't know, what is that, maybe 80-20 now? I don't know, something like that. It is tasty though. That's blueberry waffles from Juicy. As you may know, I had a bunch of juices that were way up here for nicotine level. So I I dumped them all way down here. Not a problem anymore. Went through over a half a tank of that last night on, I don't know, I think it was about an hour or something like that. Just playing video games. So, while you pause waiting for the next session is the only time you're vaping, because you're playing the game. The game's what? Matches are like 10 minutes long each. And little pause is only a couple minutes, so you just pick it up. Vape a little, talk to the wife. Vape a little bit more, put it back down, start playing again. Seemed to be an excessive amount of liquid for how I was vaping. But it is a Jenny. Typically, in this Jenny, it doesn't matter, man. It just goes through the juice. I haven't built anything in there. Even I had a 1.2 ohm build in there, and I was able to run it on my custom MVP box over there, and my spinner, and that goofy smoke, whatever the heck that thing is. What the heck is that thing? That freebie I got. Still can't believe they sell it. The Z-Max Mini. I have a extension tube coming for that, so I can use it in 18650 mode, because this little pisser of a 18350 doesn't last long at all. And I picked up the one battery just so I could check out the device, really. And yeah, it doesn't really matter. I can use my Nautilus on it, my Pro Tank on it, whatever. My Pro Tank's at 1.5 right now, and it's not great. It's not great. Still using that old goddamn Pro Tank? Jesus Christ, get rid of that thing. Yeah, it still works. Hell, I still have one brand new coil head sitting in there for it that I haven't touched. But yeah, she's at 1.5. And I think I'm cranked all the way up to 15 watts. No idea what juice is in there. It's satisfying, but the battery life sucks. I think there's some kind of melon and lime in there. But yeah, little tiny thing. Look at that. It's almost the size of that whole big mod. Not big mod. It's not like it's a 26650 or anything. It's Cyber Monday. Ordered some stuff for the kids today. So, I don't know. Do have some stuff coming in. We'll check them out. I'll throw them up on video when they come in. Got a couple things coming in. There's a third thing coming in, I think. But I don't remember what it is. I do have some more juices from Gourmet Vapor coming in too, but you probably all seen that, heard that. No point in doing anything with that. I don't know why, but I ordered them all in VG, which doesn't make sense that I have a VG bottle. So maybe I'll just dumb the flavors down a little bit once they get a little bit, put them in my tanks. I don't really care how it tastes in this, as long as it has some flavor. I can, and I have vaped just this, just to see. it's not like vaping like a pot of water. It's odorless and tasteless, and it's very strange, and it's really hard to describe. But you can just vape VG juice if you had to. It's nothing special. You're gonna read 0.28 all day long now, aren't you? Whatever. RSST gets a little warm on here. And that ain't gonna set up. Why did I set this on there? Nobody knows. How much juice is left in here? Can we vape this out real quick, and then I'll show you. You can vape VG. I was vaping VG in my RSST. That was the last thing. Not the very last thing that was in my tank, but the very last thing was 90% VG and a little couple drops of melon flavor from Juicy. I had a drink on the table. What do you need a drink for? Oh, you always need a drink, don't you? Always need a drink. Yeah, look at that. Look at the size of that. There you go. Makes me look small. This does hold quite a bit of juice. You can see my cotton's all nice and white and looks dry, but it's still vaping like it's got juice in it. Just the way of the CLT, man. I've noticed with Twisted Canthal, that's another thing I got. I got some flat ribbon coming in. But with Twisted Canthal, I don't know why, but for some reason it seems to take more of the juice out of the cotton. Straight out of the bottle for you. Look at this. This is gonna be fun. Can't really count my drops. We'll go 11 or so. Doesn't taste like nothing. Doesn't smell like anything. Doesn't smell like anything. Doesn't even smell like the plastic bottle it's in. It's pretty thick. Let that soak for a second. That's what you call max VG. That's all that is. 99.7%. There's a little bit of blueberry waffle left there in the bottom, I guess. You can vape it? Yeah, you can. And they're going to have beer flavor for me. I guess that's all I got. I did notice also with the new batteries, I have that IntelliCharger 2. You know, reads all sorts of freaking batteries from AAAs all the way up to 26650s. You know, different voltages, different, all sorts of shit, okay? Reads all sorts of batteries. These EFES, I think my Sony's are only like 2100 amps. And the EFES are rated at 2500 amps. Sorry, not amps. mAh. Okay? mAh. Sorry. My bad. No editing. And Sony's are 30 amp limit, and the eFest are 35 amp limit. I noticed it takes longer to charge the eFest by, I don't know, it's significantly longer, maybe a half hour longer. That being said, I think it only takes like 2 hours anyhow to charge the batteries. And I got enough of them rolling through here to where I don't have to worry about it. When I was stretching my 0.16 build, though, I would run into, I only have the 3 batteries, so had the 3 batteries, I got 5. And I would be stretching it. I mean, by the time the second battery was through here, I could take the other battery off the charger, put that on, and by the time that one was done, it was real close as to how far with the 3 battery rotation I could go and keep going all day. But a little higher build, make them last a little bit longer. You do notice a drop off faster also on the older batteries, just because they're wore out, man. The newer batteries get at least a half hour before it's significantly sense that they're going down. So, rotating your batteries ain't a bad idea. Loving that CLT. It's crazy. And when you vape pure VG, I'm guessing if you vape pure PG also, it's very easy to tell the dry hit is coming, because without any other flavors in there to mute the burnt cotton, burnt silica taste, it comes through quite clear. And you're going to know it. So, that's about what I got for you. I'm still vaping that. What's it look like? I don't know. You know, the bottom O-rings on this are tough. No, it's still soaked, man. See, it's gray. When it's not soaked anymore, it'll be white. That's all it produces. It's not a very pissed off machine. That's it. It's not very mad at all at me. I find quite surprising for how much it puts out when you... Yeah. Usually it's the pissed off builds that just crackle and slur at you and everything else that are producing that amount of vapor. Let's see if I can get the CLT to stand up. Alright, it stood up for now. Until I shake the table. This is a chunky piece of metal. I'll show you this. You know. Is this a much more pissed off build? Yeah, it's a much more pissed off build. Same wire. Yes, my airflow is drilled out. I do have a smaller airflow hole drilled out there, and there's a piece of clear tape over it if you can't see that. There's a piece of clear tape over that. That one is drilled out just a hair larger than the factory. That is the factory hole. That is not the factory hole. That is a hole I drilled out. The factory hole is this big one, but it was way smaller than that one. And I did try it last night, and you get a hell of a lot more flavor out of that small hole, but it's right at the point of you have to take a lung hit, but it's a restricted lung hit, and you can't really take a mouth hit because it's too loose of a mouth hit. And the bigger one is just lung hit only. And it's wunderbar. My pro tank's drilled out. I'm not slipstreaming. That is the draw I can take. See? And it's not the pin in my pro tank that's drilled out, although that's probably a pretty good idea to drill that puppy out. All I did, you ain't even going to be able to see it on here. See that hole? I drilled that out. There's another hole on the other side. I drilled both those out. It gets quite a bit more airflow now through that connector than it did before. Mostly probably because it doesn't really, especially on this, it doesn't sit down. See the gap? So that just lets all my airflow right in. It's alright. Anything else you got? I haven't really done anything else. Looking for my Helios. Not this Helios, but this Helios. Anybody know where you can get, I could be able to get this off, sure I will, a center post for a Helios clone? I'm in the market for one. If anybody knows. I did ask, I sent an email off to eSiggity the other day, and they have no idea where to get one. And I sent another email off to somebody else today to see if they know, because they have parts for other atomizers. So I sent them an email to see if they know where I could get a center post, because, you know, hey, it's a nice, clean little RDA, and I'd really like to continue to use it without going out and picking up another one, you know. Sure, the RDA is probably like $20. Whoopity-doo, $20, right? But come on, the center post's only got to be a couple dollars, right? So I might as well just get a center post and put it in there. I'm pretty sure that a center post from the big style one would be the same. Little thing on this stupid little thing. This is also a Helios. This is the normal size Helios. This is the clone Helios, which is a little tiny guy. The center post on this, I noticed it when I started doing really low, below 0.2 builds on it. The center post starts moving up on you. So there's all sorts of tutorials out there and everything else of how to get that to stiffen up a little bit. And I believe I took a Pro Tank insulator from the inside where you trap the wires for the coils. I cut one of them down and I put them underneath there, and the center post hasn't moved up on me at all, and I can still adjust my center pin, so I don't have a fingernail anymore. Cut those two. But yeah, there is ways to get around that. I don't know what's in that. Should we vape it? Sure, why not? We're already all the way up here, you know. Might as well vape stuff that's sitting out here. We can get other stuff to sit up. I don't want to use my eFests right now. It's going to save those for work, seeing how they last a little longer when I change them out so often. So, yeah. This is my torched Nemesis. You don't want to... Oh, you don't want to just tailpipe that thing, do you? No, not really. Let's put the airflow in front of the coils before we start. That usually makes sense. And this one's just 5 or 6 wraps of 24 gauge, not twisted. No parallels, nothing fancy, just 2 3mm inside diameter squished together coils. Tasty. That also has some melon in it. And it's drying out. Those are some pissed off coils though. Just on how you build it, man. Just about how you build it. What's the ohms on this one? I don't know. What is the ohms on this one? Let's see. Where we at? I don't know. Let's say 0.35. Why not? That's my going number today, right? How about if it doesn't touch? Well, that could be a problem. Doesn't touch my ohm meter. We got a screwdriver. We'll pull that pin out a little bit. Maybe we won't pull the pin out a little bit. I love things that don't work. I gotta actually hold my deck, I guess. What is she at? What is she at? What is she at? 0.35. Look at that. Funny how that works out in my world, isn't it? Well, as usual, you all have fun now, because I know I will.